Good morning. I'm Mustafa Al-Rawi, Assistant Editor-in-Chief at The National. Thank you for joining us for this session titled Boosting Vaccine Confidence. It's an exclusive expert panel. We're going to do a briefing on the global implications of the COVID-19 crisis and the road ahead. We are on the cusp of an era of mass COVID-19 inoculation. The deployment of vaccines by drug makers such as Pfizer-BioNTech, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Sinopharm, and the Gamaleya Center promises to put the pandemic behind us. Justifiably, there's been plenty of optimism about a return to a more normal arc of life. However, it may not be a straight line to global herd immunity. Surveys indicate that only 73% of people will get a COVID-19 vaccine if available, with a number as low as 40% in some countries. It would seem that there is a lot more work to be done to help people feel comfortable enough to get a jab.
Hello, namaste, sat sri akal, assalamu alaikum. This past year has been challenging for us all, with many of us losing our loved ones.
But we will be reunited with our friends and family. All we have to do is just take the vaccine.
Many in our community have suffered the most, largely due to our efforts on the front line at the NHS or as key workers.
This one's pretty bad. I gotta hold my camera still.
Looking after others and serving our community is what we do. It's how we've been brought up.
We've got a problem with trust when it comes to the vaccine, correct?
Well, we do, although actually I have some positive news, and I think that is as we start to see millions of people vaccinated, what we're seeing in the data is that during 2020, as scores of teams all over the world rushed to produce vaccines, we saw a decline in vaccine confidence in our global trends survey. But what we've now seen actually since December, as we've actually started vaccination programs, is many more people now saying they will take the vaccine. Because, of course, if you know that in my country, 6 million people have now had it and there haven't been news stories of massive side effects, we're actually now starting to see considerable rises in the proportion who say they're willing to take it. We're certainly not clear of trouble, and there is a trust problem, although I don't think it's new. It's perennial. It's been here for decades, but I think there are some positive signs. So that's to me is really encouraging. There's still, of course, massive regional and national differences in the proportion who say they'll take it, with countries like France and Russia very, very low, and of course both have all sorts of challenges. But interestingly, places like Britain, Brazil, China, much more enthusiasm. But everywhere since December, we've seen a rise in the proportion who say that they'll take it. So I think as long as there aren't stories about side effects breaking out across the world's media, I think we may, assuming we can get the distribution to work, we may be, starting to turn the corner on this.
That's why we have such immense pride when a family member becomes a doctor or a nurse. We have so much respect for them. They need our respect now more than ever.
John Skelton, and I'm very real, and unfortunately this is also very real. I didn't know what else to do other than to just come on live and show everybody what my body is going through at all wakening hours of my day.
Today, those doctors and scientists have found us a way forward. A COVID-19 vaccine that will help save lives.
Hoy, ayer en la tarde.
Hay que bajarle la camilla. Después cerveza, COVID. Ven a la vacuna.
There is no scientific evidence to suggest that the vaccine will work differently for people from ethnic minorities.
In fact, the scientists who developed one of the most widely used vaccines are Muslim.
The vaccine does not include pork or any material of fetal or animal origin.
Good luck getting that with me tattering away.
You're all right.
The vaccine does not contain the virus itself, only harmless elements from it.
Taking the vaccine is the only way to boost your immunity against COVID for you and your loved ones.
The vaccine was available quickly because of a global effort.
Because huge funds were made available by governments around the world.
A nurse is vaccinated, but just minutes later, this happens.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Whoa. So something that would normally take years took just months.
It's very, very rare for vaccines to have a long-term side effect. But what we do know is that COVID-19's long-term implications are deadly.
The COVID-19 vaccines have gone through the same strict processes and regulations as other vaccines, such as for measles, mumps, rubella, and TB.
There is no chip or tracker in the vaccine to keep watching where you go. Your mobile phone actually does a much better job of that.
Pregnant women are not excluded from the vaccine, but should discuss their case with a doctor.
There's also no evidence to suggest the vaccine affects fertility.
Whenever we ease the lockdown, whether it's today or in 6 or 9 months, we've got to be realistic and accept that there will be more infections, more hospitalizations, and therefore, sadly, more deaths, just as there are every year with flu.
Herd immunity is not an option, as many millions will need to be infected, causing a disastrous number of deaths.
The vaccine does not change or damage our DNA. Not taking the vaccine can damage us more.
3 of my aunties and 1 of my uncles have had the vaccine.
My mum has had the vaccine.
My dad has had the vaccine.
My mum and dad have had the vaccine.
The vaccines reduce the danger of COVID, they save lives, and they keep people out of hospital.
My parents have had the vaccine.
My mum's had the vaccine and my dad's appointment is booked.
I was initially nervous, but now I've had it, I'm really pleased.
But no vaccine against any disease has ever been 100% effective.
My sister's had the vaccine, and I can't wait until it's my turn.
You may not always trust what you hear and what you see, but you can trust the vaccine.
Just one simple step will mean we can once again eat, drink, pray and hug together.
Not only will you be saving your life, but you'll be saving other lives too. And there can be no better gift than that. Thank you.
My name is Christy Simmons. First of all, I would like to say that I am a registered nurse. I took the COVID vaccine to protect patients and my fellow co-workers. I took it a week and a half ago. It'll be 2 weeks this coming Tuesday. I have had tremors for the last 3 days. I have been to 4 ERs and have been discharged, stating that I need to follow up with neurology. I've contacted 2 neurologists. One cannot even see me until after March or late March. The other one said that they will not see me at all. I'm making this video so that people are aware of the possibilities